Hi guys, so a few people have been asking me how I got this to work on Facebook, this 360 spherical image. So I thought I'd put together a video today to show you through the steps. I know obviously Facebook's a bit finicky most of the time when you're uploading them, it just doesn't recognise. But for this tutorial I'm going to be using Lightroom and Photoshop, and I'm also going to supply you with a template for Photoshop which you can use. So obviously Facebook will be able to recognise that it's a 360. So we'll start off in Lightroom. I'll just open that up now. So you want to import all your images into Lightroom because Lightroom's going to combine them all into the spherical image. So I shot this with the Mavic Air and that shoots 25 images to make up, I suppose, the whole 360. So what you want to do is select the 25 images. You can hold down Shift actually to get more of a batch. And it goes to here. So they're the 25 images that I want to obviously combine. So now with them selected, I'll right click. I'll go to Photo Merge, Panorama. Now, so with that joined together, what I'll do is I'll get the boundary warp and put it to 100%. Although you might not have to with your images do it to 100%, I suppose it depends. Because you know that could make it look really weird, but no, like that looks alright. And then I'll go to auto crop. I won't bother with auto settings because I'll do these myself, and I'll untick create stack, and then I'll go to merge. Now, so that's finished merging, and what Lightroom will do is add the merged image at the very end of the images. So it's here. And what I'm going to do is start doing some edits, just kind of basic edits I think in Lightroom, and then I'll import it into Photoshop. So with the merged image selected, click on develop. And now as you can kind of see in this image, like the sky is completely blown out here. Now obviously there's not really much I can do, which is I suppose the tricky shot. So it's Mavic Air, hasn't got the best dynamic range. Because you can kind of see here, like the water is completely black, but you're like, look at it there. There wasn't really a way around it. Well, I suppose maybe some filters for it. I might try it at some stage, but I suppose I'll do the best with what I have here. So what I'll do is I'll start off. I'll scroll down here to enable profile corrections, and then I'll click on remove chromatic aberration. Scroll all the way up to the top. I'm going to decrease the highlights. Now look, you can see it doesn't do miracles, it's still all blown out there, but you might not really kind of be that bothered by it, I suppose, once it's on Facebook as a 360. And then the shadows, I'll bump those up. And the contrast actually. Vibrance, I'll boost that. I won't go near texture or clarity because I'm going to do the sharpening in Photoshop. I actually prefer it there. And then I'll scroll down to I think the sharpening here, I want to put it to 0. Yeah, the sharpening here, I'll put that to 0. And let's have a look. Yeah, I think I'll import that into Photoshop now. So to import it to Photoshop, I'll right click on it. I'll go edit in, open as smart object in Photoshop. We have the image open in Photoshop, and what I want to do is duplicate the image just because I like it as a safety net. So you can go Ctrl J to duplicate, or another way of doing it is clicking and dragging this over to this arrow here, that duplicates it. And then the third way is actually right clicking on it and going duplicate layer and then pressing OK. So I suppose that's a few different options. So the first thing I want to do with this image is sharpen the image. So what I'll do is I'll actually duplicate it again. So Ctrl J, and I'll change this blend mode to overlay. And then I'll go over here at the top to filter, scroll all the way down to other, and then high pass. So with the high pass, I'm going to change this to, I'd say 1, because you don't want to see it where there's loads of haloing, it'll be too much. So yeah, say radius of 1 or 2 would be grand. And then press OK. And now I suppose if you're finished with all your edits, now I know there's obviously some stuff I could actually clear up, but I suppose for the sake of this tutorial, I'll just go along with it. So I'll just actually click on this eye here, and I want to merge these 2 layers. So to merge those 2 layers, I'll go Control, Shift and E. And now the next step is vital, which is for it to work on Facebook. So I have a template that I'm going to use, which I'll also have a link in the description so you can download it, where you'll be able to place your image onto this canvas and then save, and you'll be able to upload on Facebook and it'll work fine. So I'll open that first, so Control O. So I have this template here. So with this template open, the first thing you want to do is add a guide to it, which is a line in the middle. And this is going to act as a guide for where the horizon line is going to be. So to do that, make sure that your rulers are turned on. If they're not, go up to View and go all the way down to Rulers. So make sure that's ticked. And then also make sure the snap is ticked as well, because we want the guide to actually snap into the middle. Okay, so with those ticked, we'll click and drag down here. So that's obviously after going down to the middle. Grand. So now we'll go back to our image and we'll click and put that in there. Just say yes. And then I'll use these just to rearrange. And then you can hold down Shift just to get the width as well. And then hold down Shift and put that all the way down to the bottom. But obviously, as you can see there, it's not on the horizon line. So I'm going to hold down Shift here at the top until it goes roughly to the horizon line, say around there, and I'll press enter. But now the problem that we have is there's actually a missing sky here. So what I'll do is I'll actually copy this part of the sky and kind of paste it up here. So I'll just show you. First I'll actually get rid of this guide here. You can just click on the guide and just put it back up, just so it's not real distracting. And then to copy this part of the sky, I'm going to go to the Marquee tool up here, or M on the keyboard for a keyboard shortcut. I'm just going to click and drag here. And then I'm going to go Control J to duplicate that part of the image. And then press V to select. And then I'm going to hold down Shift and drag all the way up. And press enter. And now I'm going to add a layer mask on top of that. So if you hold down Alt on your keyboard and click on Add Layer, New Layer Mask. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this area to obviously bring back the sky. So black conceals and then white reveals. So I'm going to paint this white to reveal the sky. So make sure this part is selected here, the black. And then go to your brush, which is up here, or B on the keyboard. And I'm just going to increase the size. You just right click. And do I want a soft? I say soft. Soft brush. Make sure this is set to white. And then you literally just paint it back. Actually, I'll go, hardness 0. And then to increase the brush size with your keyboard, you can use the right square bracket to increase, and then to decrease, you can use the left square bracket. So you want to be careful of this line here, because that's kind of where you don't want it to look too fake looking. Although, to be honest with you, you'll get away with a lot of this, like even if it is a bit of a mess, because once it's viewed as like the 360 on Facebook, no one's going to notice. No, so that's not too bad. So now what you want to do is just merge all your changes. So go Control Shift and E. And now you want to see if there's anything wrong with the image. And one way to do that is if you go up to Filter and go down to Other and Offset. So look, already you can see an obvious line. Also make sure Wraparound is selected, and then you can maneuver this horizontal pixel right. And you can see it. So we're going to fix that now. Just going to position it. Say there, just press OK. And then to get rid of that line, I'm going to create a new layer. So you can click on this plus. Actually, what's after happening? I'll just drag that. Yeah, plus over here. Or you can go Control Shift and N. And then zoom in, Control plus. And then you can hold down your space bar for the hand tool so you can kind of navigate the image. And then release, and it's back to the stamp. So I'm just going to decrease this size, the brush. Say about there. And then I'm going to sample. If I hold down Alt and then left click. So hold down or click Alt, or hold down Alt and left click, just to clear up this line here. So Alt, so I'll just kind of sample multiple times in the one area. And make sure your hardness is 0. So I'll zoom into this area a bit more. So Control plus, keep pressing it. Hold down the space bar for the hand tool to have a better look. It's going to decrease stamp, left square bracket. Going to sample around here, hold down Alt and left click, release and brush down. Yeah, I'd say that'll do. So I'll just zoom out. So now we'll merge those two together. So Control Shift and E. And the next thing now we want to do is preview this in 3D space. And this is to find if there's anything else wrong with it. So to do that, you want to go up here to View or 3D, and then go to Spherical Panorama and select New Panorama Layer from the selected layer. So click on that. And then you should enter into 3D space. So look, now we're in 3D space. So you can kind of look around, see if there's anything wrong. Actually, there's a line there, so we can clear that up. Don't know if you can see on the video, there's a bit of a line here. So to clean that, what I'll do is I'll use the Spot Healing Brush tool, which is over here, Spot Healing Brush tool, or J on your keyboard. And we're not going to be creating a new layer in 3D space because we want to actually apply it straight onto this line. So let's see how that looks. That's not too bad. Maybe around there. And then get back to obviously navigating the 3D space. You want to click on your Move tool or V on your keyboard. See if there's anywhere else. Yeah, that's an obvious place. It's usually always here at the very top. So we're going to clean this up as well. And what I'll do is I'll use the stamp tool to clean this area. So press S, right click, increase the brush size, hardness 0%. Let's say around there, say that size is okay. And I think I'll sample around, say around this area. So I'll hold down on Alt on the keyboard, left click, release. Actually, you can see that wasn't a good sample. Actually, I'll sample here instead. So hold down Alt, click, release. And I'll just paint this area. Now I might have to speed this part of the video up because in 3D space your computer is going to be going so slow, so this might take even 10 times longer. So if I speed it up, you'll know why. My computer's probably crashed. So now with the image all cleaned up, what you want to do is go over here to spherical map and double click on it. So what this is going to do is actually going to add another layer here, like a separate image. And see, so we still have the 3D space, and this is the layer you're going to be saving. So it always has a .psb extension beside it. So now we'll go File, Save As. I will save it to as a JPEG. I'll save it as spherical FB. Make sure sRGB is ticked. Press Save. And make sure the maximum quality is done. Press OK. So now that that's saved, go into Facebook and we'll upload this. So there it is, spherical FB. Oh, actually, I'm after doing it twice there. Yeah, so you can see as soon as that icon comes up there, you're just seeing it's like Facebook recognise it as a 360 image. So it's just uploading it now. We'll be able to preview it. Just a second. The moment of truth. There, so you can go edit 360 settings. So there it is. Pretty cool. Obviously look down, look up. And then you can obviously display as 360 photo. You can position this so it's kind of like the default view. So when someone goes onto your Facebook, what's the first thing they'll see? And then they'll be able to scroll around. So I'll pick now. I think maybe this view is good. And then I'll go save. And that's the default view. Actually, we'll see if we can preview it there as well. Although this can act up sometimes. Yeah, that's acting up a bit. I don't know why it does that, but once you publish it, it's fine. It's literally like this then. So yeah, I suppose that's it for the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I've got some more videos coming up probably in the next week or two. So if you want to keep an eye and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do. And give a thumbs up. And thanks for watching.